Alright. I look at a leaderboard spreadsheet.
JVC just woke up.
We'll see if my dog behaves. She's probably gonna start whining soon.
In a second now.
Anyone grinding at the last minute? The last seconds?
Don't believe. I mean, I don't see anything, but it's gotta.
There's nothing on this kid.
Oh yeah.
I'm starting to get a headache from Broom, so I'll figure that's...
Alright, time to run the script.
Oh, I was grinding last second drainage tunnel.
Yeah, did you get it? We're about to find out.
I think I have it for the challenge with Jake, but
Come on, script. Come on. It's been a lot slower the last week or two.
Oh shit, maybe we'll get another 2 minutes to grind now.
I would assume the script knows when to cut it off.
Alright. 38 seconds late, according to this. Well, I don't think any big changes happened in the last little bit. I don't even see any we see Quantum Coral stayed on top of both of the short leaderboards also, so that's cool.
let's fucking go!
Yeah.
Woo!
My God!
I can play short maps really well.
True.
Got beat by
'Cause I
different
like hitting-
characters on both of them too. Oh, by the
Well.
top players. But good job. Don't mean to take that away. I just thought it was funny that there are a few different characters on some leaderboards this time.
There was a small possibility that I could bop Camel on Expedition,
I feel like you could have, but
but that map is really
tough.
awful at the start.
Alright, I have to get all this stuff ready. I gotta sort some replays that got sent to me. Probably watch more other replays than leaderboard replays. We see a bunch of keys earned in various capacities. Looks like a few of them were a little harder this time. Longer ones, usually a little on the easier side.
Yeah.
Most people ended up getting Urban Undergrowth's keys.
Oh, Colonel Camel had not a lot of...
52.
Not even the top 10.
But yeah, quite a different spread. We had only one world record by the world this time by Plant on Dash Forever plugin. So
No.
good job to Plant representing the world. Plant currently responsible for the first two top player versus the world points until the challenge results come in. You know, those get manually added. But we'll go through them. Good job to everybody. 3 teams remain perfect on keys.
Gonna have to make them harder again.
Argon Avengers got a little bit there at the end. This is about the difficulty that they'll probably stay, if I had to guess. Inverts might go a tiny bit higher for the final week, just because, you know, gotta see what we can do, I guess. But we'll see in a few days. Week 4 maps. Don't have to worry about those yet. But V ceilings until the challenge results come in, currently in the lead on week 3. So will they hold on to it? Maybe, maybe not. Ike Ether has been pulling ahead on the leaderboards, especially thanks to some of those world records on the short levels by Quantum Coral.
Let's go, Quantum.
Quantum.
And some good last minute grinds anyway, across the board. All right. So this time there's a little bit more to go through. There are a lot more weird challenges. I'm going to prepare a little of that, make sure I have my plugins and all that settled. So if I miss anything, if any of you guys have replays you want me to check out, then hopefully say them in chat. Someone will hopefully notice. I'm not always gonna have chat up all the time, so no guarantee I actually see it, unfortunately. That's just how it works right now. Hello? Oh, okay. Alright, week 3 results. We'll start with Urban Undergrowth. Always do the maps in order.
What is the order?
We see some worths on top, but a few man players able to beat down the worths. There was a challenge here between Duck and JVC about who could get the best man run, and clearly JVC did not get a better man run than his worth run, so it looks like Duck won that.
I was probably gonna do worth if it wasn't because of that.
Yeah. This one was the most commonly achieved invert key, sitting at 30.5, which, you know, for hard levels, it takes a lot of consistency to be able to perform at that level. So, I think we can afford to make them a little harder, but, you know, it's good to have some invert keys every now and then that aren't too horrible. So let's see what it required to get an invert key.
This is the first time watching him work for him on this.
It's always funny going into like a week recap and just clicking on a replay and being like, yeah, replays just normally work. Then remembering,
Yeah, right.
like, oh yeah, you couldn't do this like minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, these look like the strats roughly our team was doing too, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, though, like when I go to task maps outside of DLC, I at this point have the muscle memory in to do the DLC method for getting tasks to work. So.
Only have to worry about that for a month at a time.
Yeah, true.
Worth catching up on the climb. Not much actually. Man pulling ahead in the few boosts.
Oh, the outside.
All right. 2 players getting their invert keys and dipping.
Yep, basically.
But that's those are pretty clean runs. You really have to push to go a lot lower than that.
Yeah, this is a map where like the invert felt relatively lenient, but getting much lower than that was really hard.
Yeah, I feel like what I remember was Camel predicted the world record of this map would end up being around the low 28s, which is interesting to see that most people ended up in the, well, not most, but you know, most top times were 28, and then Surprise a second lower than that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I could have pushed it a little bit more, but like there wasn't too much point because I didn't think I was beating Camel or Fish's times. So.
Do we have my goals up when we watch the top times? Because I just want to see how like much I lose them in execution.
Watch here, you said?
Yeah. Well, keep the goals down when we have the top player's time. I just want to see.
Oh
like,
yeah,
how
so,
much
so
it
he
is.
wants, yeah, so Doug wants a comparison between his and either Fishy or Camel.
Yeah. Fishy's got a worth run also.
Okay, yeah, well, may as well see that comparison to mine then.
Yeah, I think Fishy got a 27.
Ooh, like the ground was in there.
Maya attempts to distract me. Hold on.
JVC check.
Adam Kerr.
Actually, yeah, Camel, you do have a point. Why are there like 60 viewers? Okay, it was a Wezzy, right?
Vasi did in fact, right?
Shout outs to Wezzy.
Oh, right. Oh, hello all people from RuneScape.
RuneScapers.
There he is. There is Wezzy.
Alright, I wasn't really paying attention for a bit there. Hold on.
The dog is successfully distracting you.
Yeah, but now I'm back. Any teams we haven't watched yet? We watched Nighthawks. We'd watch, let's see.
I mean, I assume
Teams
JVC
you
and Ninja
play.
have mostly the same route, right?
Yeah. We'll skip some here and there.
Yeah, so this was the record for a while toward the start of the week.
Oh yeah, this was a pretty early record. Nighthawk not doing
Yeah.
too much this week, but able to get a really clean record on this quickly.
Mhm.
And had low percent on this for quite a while too. I think he still won low percent. Yep. By 1 frame, actually.
Nice.
We'll get there. Low percent's gonna be an interesting watch, I think.
For sure.
We'll switch back and forth a little more. So Plant Duck. Plant has 2 times, that's what's going on.
Yeah. Just started touching at the war for another.
Gonna have to do JVC's man time anyway for the challenge, right?
What about JVC's man time?
Wasn't that versus that?
Yeah, but we don't need to watch everything. There's a lot to watch.
Yeah.
I'll mostly watch like top 5 or so. And try to get one from each team if I can. Yeah, near the top. And then I got a bunch of side replays to also watch.
So they're going for that. They're going for that like air dash sequence at the end there. That actually is slower by like, literally a frame compared to the ceiling boost. I tested that out. I was actually doing that strat earlier in the week, but ended up testing out the ceiling boost, and it's faster by a little bit, and I thought it was easier, so I ended up doing the ceiling boost instead.
Alright, Doug going for a boost. Gets a
Yeah,
nice
that
ceiling
particular
boost.
variation of that, it was like shockingly faster for man at least, not for worth. It was way slower for worth, but probably for unrelated reasons.
Yeah, JVC, that spread saved 1 second.
Yeah, getting a better boost along the top was a pretty big deal.
No, it doesn't save 1 second. I was being ironic. It saves like 0.2 in my testing.
Well, you haven't seen what the others have done yet.
Well,
So there's
this is
Arb
something
with
to save
the
somewhere.
world's world record. which originally Camel beat all the records within like 40 minutes. This time around, Camel very active this week. Good to see. Fishy tagged along, ended up taking most of them, and all the side leaderboards.
Yeah, I think so. On Man versus Worth in this map, right? Like, I think generally the perception is that Worth would be advantaged because of this collab section, right? Which makes sense. But it turns out that Man can actually save so much time back on this boost section, especially since he can actually he gets an ADB here, which Worth cannot get because his jump is too high. So there's a lot of back and forth and like who saves time where. It's rather interesting.
Yeah, you made tasks for each one, right?
Yes, yeah. I sent you the links for those.
All right. So here's the first of the Man runs. Fishy switched to Man after a little stint as Worth. Losing a little time to the Worth there. You see them all ahead.
Yes. But yeah, you get
There's the
all
ADB.
your time back as Man there. Yep.
And a good, really good ceiling boost.
Without the ADB, I'm pretty sure this is very clearly a Worth map, but it works out very nicely for Men, so.
Camel's run is going to look very similar.
Well, that's...
Considerably better beginning than Fishy. There are still, there are quite a bit of differences actually. Especially in execution. I know that Camel intended to get a better run here as well, by like 0.4, 0.5, but didn't quite get it out on the last day for us. Alright, let me check what Arb sent.
Yeah, your call on which one to show first. I don't really think there's a particular order. The Worth one is faster, if I remember correctly. So.
Alright. Man.
I'm gonna switch over to them.
Alright.
Two chats.
Here's the Man one from Arb. Staying on the ground a little, jumping into the ceiling. Slightly better ledge cancels.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
Any RLJs?
Not that I used it, I think.
Oh, that's flying so fast.
Not losing any speed.
Yeah, I can't imagine why no one would just grind out 5 like 3-frame ledge cancels lookies. I don't know, man. How much time the ADP saves versus what, just jumping through the gap? I mean, a lot. I don't know the exact figure, but it is significant.
I wasn't sure if Worth could make just hitting that stuff faster at the top. It was pretty even for me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a thing, and it's probably just like a test thing. Going around was a good deal slower for Worth from when I tested.
I remember when I tested, I didn't really get any good boosts. So I tried going for the boost, and it was marginally better than the first thing I tried the other way. So just gave the suggestions. That's pretty much how I contributed this week. Just gave a lot of routing suggestions. All right, let me check the challenges and stuff that happened this week.
There's a
also
lot
low
of crazy
percent.
things. There's a lot of crazy
Yeah,
ones in this map.
This one had the most, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna start off with some bangs. I guess we'll just skip the low percent. So not really skip, but we'll I'll list off the challenges that happened that we're gonna check out. I need to get this up in another window. Okay, as for top player challenges, what ended up happening on this level, we had zero direction 8%. We had lights off plugin between JBC and Camel. The zero direction was between not Jake and Fishy. Idle and Camel had a boss low percent, which had some strange rules that I'll have to explain later, I guess. That's it for this level for top player challenges. For normal challenges, there were 2 challenges with Issa. One with Avenge, one with Kitar. On SS. And I'm told that Issa had a near miss, unfortunately. Almost clutched it out. But I got this as a run. With some ghosts that will probably go ahead.
Yeah, this was what 39 something AS, I believe it was, right?
Yeah, just
Oh
checking
yeah,
out
that
where
does
people ended up.
that does is a pain. The dust that Issa misses in this run.
Yeah. That's a really hard one to hit as Worth. Even though Worth has those big hitboxes.
31-9, I misread the numbers then. Okay.
Yeah, Kitar, it's in just behind that. He's running out of time, unfortunately, but that's how DLC goes sometimes.
Yeah, it really is. Not really sometimes, but just like all the time, honestly.
Almost got a red, though. Alright. So, for low percent, there's a little twist to low percent on this level. So, I mean, you might, if some of you haven't seen it yet, you know, it seems like it makes sense. You just kind of go through the level, dodge all the dust. But for anyone that hit tab in the editor, you might notice there's some extra porcupines. And, well, they don't show up unless it's in low percent. So, plenty of people got a nice little surprise. And we also had an apple hidden up here, very well. I'll show off an apple SS also, because Fishy ended up doing it. I'm a little surprised no apple SS challenges happened on this map compared to some of the other things that happened. But we got some fun stuff to watch. So let me toggle that so I can just use this leaderboard. First of all, there are, let me check something. Okay, so first of all, it was possible to get 0 dust on the level because there was a purple flag exit. And there were exactly 10 people that did it, and these are the 10 people, in fact. But I want to show off the expected experience of low percent. I'm looking for a good replay, probably JVC's. Maybe not. I can't really tell, but well, we're about to find out. Okay, not a low percent level.
Huh.
That was probably lights off. No, that was probably lights off practice. Well, either way, that's JVC's low percent PB. Let me try to find one that shows the struggle. If someone's posting something in chat, this is a good opportunity for a first low percent experience, because I want to show that off.
I'm not seeing any replay links yet, so.
Maybe Wazi's.
Alright, Idol's
He
lose
goes
it.
up and gets the apple in this replay.
Oh,
Idol's
actually?
got one. Or, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at the leaderboard list.
Okay, JVC posted a replay in the chat.
Alright, well, that's a little faster than what I'm looking for. I want to see the struggle.
Okay.
So I'm looking for stuff that's not on the top of the leaderboard. Let's check this one. Alright, rodent dodging some dust. So once you reach this part of the level, the porks start to attack you. So low percent, obviously you gotta dodge the dust, but the even harder part here is you have to dodge all the quills. And even though attacking quills and attacking porks would have given you combo anyway, we actually disabled attacking, just for, you know, for the fun of it. So the low percent ending goes around these dust blocks. Then we have a room with a few more porks. You gotta study the pattern here a little bit to figure out how to get around. Originally there were the porks were a little bit faster, and there was one more in the final room, but that was a bit too
insane.
much.
That sounds insane, actually.
Yeah, this is still hard enough, but very fun to pull it off in the level. So getting through the level, not getting hit at all, that's the challenge. So let's see someone that was successful at that. Able to boost under the quills at the start. Cycles do come into play a little bit on this level, but they're relatively minor. You know, there are a few important cycles that you want to hit, in terms of, like, you gotta be fast enough to dodge this quill, that kind of stuff. But that mostly only matters at the top level. Big Diesel with the dodge.
This oh man, just standing there, right in the right spot.
All right.
Spooky.
Let's check out what Kid does.
Yeah, it's like, why did you play Kid here? Felt like it. Yeah, I mean, hey, as valid a reason as any. It is funny that it is the only Kid replay though for this,
Yeah.
or well, at least shown on the leaderboard.
There's also a man run that we'll check out. Oh, Zyke sneaking through, making use of the extra air charge. Very good. Duck had a zero dust man run.
I don't remember when Doug did this. When did you do this one, Doug? Day one? Okay. Oh, right, yeah, you commented on this earlier today, I believe, right? Where you still have that run from the start of the week.
Well, we'll watch the top 3 remaining rounds. Plant off by 1 frame. I guess I could have turned on. Actually, I'll back out and turn that on again. Just to have the ghost for the last 3.
Yeah.
You do need a little bit of an up dash to get up there as worth easily. Skipping a ledge cancel on that that top section is a little tough too. All right, plant with the upper exit.
Ooh, interesting. Weaving through all the quills.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. Could even get a little ceiling boost there at the end, which incidentally, I told Camel I told my team in our team chat that you could jump into the ceiling at the end of the level like Baby's Playground and save 1 frame. And then Camel took it upon himself to leak it to Team V ceilings. Nighthawk squeezing by at the end.
I mean, anything related to that map, JVC must know of.
So JVC was thrilled to have that knowledge on his side. But Fishy did a little bit more than that. Even surpassed the initial strats that I gave him. I think it was mostly in terms of beating the ending or something. Or no, it was this section right here, up top. He was able to skip that ledge. But yeah, we didn't plan to slow down at all.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my god, the weave at the end.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing to figure out.
This is not normally check-in PC. But yeah, that ending room was pretty crazy.
Okay, and before we get to challenges, just to have a little more fun with this, I'm gonna show off the Apple SS that Fishy did. Because no one had split off. Yeah, so here's a few more ghosts. So, Apple SS requires that you skip the dust. Fishy had a low percent for a little bit here. Fishy did this after he grinded low percent, almost keeping pace with himself. So you gotta go up here, and attacks are disabled until you reach the top of here. And you have Fishy going for multiple dashes in a row. Worth actually can't easily attack, or not attack, but jump in between the quills. The camera, not actually built for Apple SS, it turns out. But now that you can finally attack stuff, You gotta go all the way through the level and get all these forks.
Strategically leaving dust around.
Yep, yeah, go back. Also, there's one little surprise to be had at the beginning of the level, in the event that no one caught it. So one more camera moment. There's actually one more pork all the way at the beginning. That was
Oh, yeah,
there
the
the
one that
entire time. So if you move the camera a little bit, you will see it at the beginning of the level before they all get deleted. Camel thought that you needed to get super to hit that pork at the spawn, but it turns out Fishy did not need it.
So gotta hit the quills.
Alright, making the saving super for the final room, even though it was very spooky.
That is insane.
Alright, let's start off with something a little more on the crazy side for challenges. Should we go straight into Pogo Broom?
Oh god. I mean, alright, if you're looking for something crazy, then sure.
Only if we do it from the broom perspective.
That was the plan.
All right.
Let me make sure I got the replays. So I got a bunch of different replays on this one. I don't think I'm gonna watch all 6, but I do have a little progression of replays in the sheet. Duck sent the most recent one. All right. So let's see what we got. So this is what the level looks like normally, of course. I think I'll watch this without Broom first, and you guys can just be like, all right, well, this looks pretty normal, doesn't it? And then I'll turn on Broom.
Yeah, that sounds fine. Gotta get a little bit of perspective as to what exactly is happening here.
Okay, so Pogo and Broom. Pogo makes you jump whenever you touch the ground, and you bounce based on the speed you already had. So, yeah, just going for SS. Just trying to have a nice little fun competition between friends. Cow and Duck are just enjoying a little Pogo in VR. But this is what it looks like to us. Not what it looks like to them.
Yeah.
So this is a normal replay showing before they got too into the grind, what they normally have to deal with. As you can see, they've got some of the motions pre-planned out. In a sense, it's a little like blindfolds, where you gotta have a plan. Alright, but that's an SS. I think this might have been the first one that had it.
This was a 1-0. Yeah, I believe this was Cow's first replay. The one to which Camel simply replied to with ... in the chat, in the Discord.
let's watch it again.
This time for real. So yeah, this is what Count and Duck were seeing the entire time they were playing this. And yes, this is first-person Dust Wars. Shoutouts to J-Dude for writing this script up.
Yeah.
Though he did say he would delete the plugin if people actually played this during DLC, so...
But fortunately, they both have the plugin file now, so
Yep, a little too
you
late
can't
for that.
really delete it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so this was a challenge between Cow and Duck.
A good ending. All right, so
Look at all the... Yeah.
here's Cow's PB. Cow got this yesterday, right? Yeah, he got this last night. They went back and forth, and it was an enjoyable thing to watch in the Discord. To see when people would get new PBs.
Sounds like you'll have to rewatch this at some point, Duck.
Yeah, what is this route? This was also the only double down challenge of the week. So a juicy 10 points to Duck, but -4 to Cow. And here's what Duck did.
Yeah, it's Pogo and Broom Uckies. Yeah, so this is the end, I believe, with the 2 dust blocks, and then yeah. I've actually seen Doug play this a lot, so I kind of know where they are in the map, but not really.
Let's watch this one more time just to see what it's like a little bit
Without
more
Broom.
normal. But Duck able to earn some keys.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
got a gold key on this one.
But Pogo, of course, does help you quite a bit with some parts.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, man able to make up for lost time. I hope they do a rematch.
I mean, Doug was saying he enjoyed it, so
Yeah, pretty normal replay after all.
yeah, I mean, it looks very normal when you can actually, you know, see.
Okay, so that was probably the craziest one. So we'll dial it back a little bit, and turn off Pogo. I gotta turn on something else. This time, we'll check out Minecraft. So I have 2 players that decided to do Minecraft on this level. This is not Jake and Sasha. So Sasha in Minecraft dodging the dust, but also dodging the camera, revealing some of the props for the shadows, which we got to see in full force. In terms of how the sample file worked when we gave those out for map making. This map was decorated by C, by the way, who made the sample file. So good to see some C art. Got a little C help after all. The map was primarily made by Camel. And then at some point in development, he was like, not Jake doing the somewhat predictable Minecraft route in my opinion. But at some point Camel was like, can you give me that script that makes porks not shoot quills? I was like, yeah. But then he said that they still can hit you with their attack. So even though they didn't shoot quills, they would actually still have their little, you know, what some people might call the ghost quill or phantom attack or whatever else they want to call it. But all it really is when a porcupine tries to shoot a quill, it actually makes a hitbox anyway. I can show this off pretty quick actually. So when a porcupine tries to shoot a quill, you'll see, this is with tools on, you can see the AI controller and you see a hitbox spawns. This pork saw man, both of them saw man, and they're both running their hitbox as a timer for when to shoot the quills. So when the hitbox hits you, that's when the quills come out. And then, you know, that's just how porks actually work. So it turns out that if you want porks to shoot or to not shoot quills, you could just delete these hitboxes, and then they'll never do that. But they'll do some other funny stuff. What I ended up doing is changing what team the hitboxes are on, so they don't actually hit you. But if you put the porks too close to each other, they'll hit each other when they try to shoot quills. So you can mess with that yourself if you really want. But then the idea evolved, and I was like, "Hey, what if we just turn these on at some point for fun, like during low percent or something, like during low direction? If you, as soon as you hit a direction, it'll just the porks won't aggro. But if you don't hit any directions when you get to a certain point, the porks aggro." And then I was like, "All right, what if we just added a bunch more porks?" And I'll just delete them if it doesn't trigger. So that's how the level came to be, pretty much. So that one was a win by not Jake. There were a few top player challenges here too. There was lights off, which we won't be watching with the lights off. But Camel and JVC went at it again, and JVC got his revenge.
It probably helps this time that he didn't, that you know, he didn't just kind of get pseudo scammed by Camel already having the right binds.
Yeah. But in a world where the world is trying to scam the top players got one piece of revenge out there.
True.
Hopefully I turned off Minecraft. If not, it's about to get a little weird. Alright, ignore that. So this is lights off, trying to SS the level. Just ignore Minecraft for a little bit. Camel may know where all the dust is because he made the level. But JVC went in with some practice Definitely spent a lot more time getting the revenge on Camel. But still an impressive run, nonetheless. The difference between lights off and blindfold, by the way, is you can still see your player and like what animation you're doing and where you are in relation to the camera. Probably the most important thing. Like you can tell you're in the bottom right there because, you know, that's just where the camera shows you. You can tell what your dust count is. So lots of little benefits. So if you wanted to memorize certain things about the level, especially where you are in relation to the camera, then that's part of what you need to do there. That's what I imagine both of these players did. And then we have a lopsided challenge. Not Jake doing a little more than trying to take on Fishy with low direction, which turned out this was quite a challenge. The level itself, you know, not the best for low direction. There are plenty of challenging things, but sometimes that's what makes a good challenge. Sometimes that's what makes a good low direction level, not being too easy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Ooh, getting turned around there. That's why a lot of the people that do these challenges do them. It's not because they're easy. There was some theory crafting of what if we tried to you know, use a porcupine quill to damage boost, but clearly Fishy decided that was not worth it. Some good ideas. Quite a complex level, so a lot of routing decisions to make. But not Jake, he had 4 challenges this week. At least he won the ones that actually were worth some points. Then we have Boss Low Percent. And this one had some funny rules from what I heard. They were not explained very well, in my opinion. No offense. But basically, how it goes is between Camel and Idle on Urban Undergrowth, we have Low Percent, which is on the best time leaderboard. If what's the easiest way to describe this? Let's see. So first of all, they're doing low percent, which means, you know, lowest dust wins typically. But if they both so if Idle has less dust than Camel, Idle wins no matter what. If they both have the same dust, then you know, whoever is faster would win. But more importantly, if they have the same dust, then Idle gets a dust handicap, and there is some trade-off between how much extra dust he's allowed to get and how much time he's allowed. And off the top of my head, I have no idea what that trade-off is, and I don't think it was ever explained anyway. So, and if it was, then I missed out. But this, first of all, this is the low percent route. Got to have some good jumps. camel with a faster 11 dust, low percent. So notably, in this mode, hitting an enemy does not add to dust. So you can skip creating dust, which is the low percent. You want to spread this 11. You want to spread as little as possible. And also the dust blocks don't count either. So although Idle tied it but was a little bit slower, we have another run from Idle that shows some of the dust that you don't really have to skip when you have a handicap. Maybe. I don't know, I haven't seen it. Alright, there's 2 dust. Okay, pretty good idea there. And fortunately the final dust attack doesn't count. Unless there's iteration order stuff going on. I'm told that this is a win for Idle. I don't know. I'll just trust Idle, right?
Seems legit.
Yeah. I don't know what their trade-off was. But Idle beat his time with 2 extra dust, so it is a win for Idle by the sound of it. One dust per 10 seconds. 10 seconds?
No, so I think
Wait,
what that
what?
means is that what that means is that since the final time was like a 20x, right? That means that
Oh, he's
Idle
allowed
can
that
get
much?
can get 2 more dust. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think. Okay, yep, that is correct as Idle has stated.
Alright. Yeah, good strategy. Just come up with a handicap that is so complicated you're the only one that understands it, and then just claim you win at the end.
Time to just play Calvin Ball, everyone.
Yep. I think that's all the challenges on this level. We showed a bunch of extra replays. It's got the most stuff going on. Colonel Camel's the next level. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I did, too bad. Or maybe we'll get back to it. This one had the second most challenges on it too, so we're gonna gradually go faster. We'll start with the challenges this time because we're in a challenging mood. We have Pogo any percent battle between Plant and Not Jake.
Man, Pogo was popular this week, huh?
Pogo's a pretty good plugin in my opinion for this kind of stuff. Not Jake and Miles doing some strategizing together. Oh, there's a big mistake right there. Alright. We see some possible time save, but Not Jake with 4 challenges to play. Plant actually also the other player with 4 challenges.
Oh, damn.
Plant showing some refined Pogo gameplay by not bouncing in that section. And also getting that boost.
That looks so funny, actually, but... Well done.
Alright. So the win goes to Plant there. Any other weird ones on this one? We have a combination of 2 between Miles and A-Boss, which I'm gonna need to verify who won that. So if Miles or A-Boss is around and you can just add up your times and confirm who won, that'd be convenient. I'm just gonna check the other mat stuff first.
Yeah, I believe that if that was just low dash, then Miles did win that, yes.
It was low dash plus low jump.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. So they wanted the cumulative time between both of them. Not 2 challenges, they wanted to add them both into one. And not even double
Yeah.
down on it.
Interesting.
So, really getting a lot of bang for not much buck. Although the more appropriate comparison would be not much bang, but a lot of butt put in. A lot of
Yeah, well, I
time put
mean-
in. Okay, we have low percent. That's got some stuff too. We have an out of bounds unload on this one too. Okay, so do we have Miles in chat? Big W for Miles. All right, Miles took both. Okay, since the low dash gets into the actual side leaderboard, I guess I'll watch that one after low percent. Mods, low percent display. 2-frame window to open up a tome there. So we had 2 challenges on this level for low percent. The obvious one being between Cal and Uckies, who had a good back and forth. And I have a link to share with you guys for this one, if you want to see the history of this level. We'll start by watching one of the older ones. Top player replays. Alright, level stats. Alright, I'll just click all these and we'll see what happens. So, the deal with this, as you're about to see, is you have some dust blocks on the right side, and you don't want to get those. So, naturally, Naglaria put in an apple and something difficult in his level. But unfortunately, it requires 3 Terras. And then you get a heavy. So, you know, pretty easy low percent. It's not like we're watching any failures after all. You just hit the Terras, and then that's it.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty easy. We're not going to watch anyone die here. Because there are no checkpoints, by the way. So you got to do all 3 of these in a row. So, Uckies draws first blood, but Cow, Cow's got some ideas too. Cow brings it down to 14 seconds. Uckies responds. Like, yeah, it looks like we got a little grind work going on here. Got to grind out the dashes every time. Uckies doing his jump, grabbing the left wall each time. Alright, looking pretty smooth. Can't really go that much better than that. But Cow answers back. Ooh, little mistake though. But no setup on that. And not grabbing the wall on either wall. That's pretty good. But, you know, let's go deeper. Let's save another second. Cow got this run a few days ago. And this stood for quite a bit. Uckies was unable to clap back until he actually returned to it today. Both players did agree that Uckies was allowed to spend extra time before or after the normal top player deadline. And it turned out Uckies needed it because he got this run just a few hours ago. And that's what happens when top players are allowed extra time. So, Cow has learned his lesson about of that this week, I think. Unfortunately, getting bopped in the final hours by both Uckies and Duck on 2 separate challenges, despite having runs up there in advance, which is the top player struggle. So maybe Cal will be the top player of gimmicks for DLC 5.
Certainly seems like it so far.
But he's still gotta defend his title. Got second on a couple challenges in a row right there. But that is a win for the top players. At a glance, it looked like we'll probably keep roughly the same kind of 50-50, if I had to guess, on these challenges. You know, pretty competitive on both sides after all. There was one additional challenge with low percent. That was a funny twist, I guess. Naglaria was trying to challenge his normal SS versus our low dash SS. So, you know, whoever on the top players wanted to accept it. So whatever we would get for, let me turn off that. Whatever we would get for low dash compared to Naglaria's normal SS. But it turns out that even though Fishy did pretty well in low dash, as has been seen on the leaderboards, that is not really that close to what Naglaria got. So Naglaria getting a 29. So we saw Naglaria already had a 29. We knew already that, you know, we're probably thinking like 34, 33 for low dash. That was our early estimate, you know, if I had to say a number. And we're thinking, you know, that's not winnable. We're gonna need a little handicap here if you want to do that. We weren't really making progress, but what ended up happening, what ended up happening with the handicap, Naglaria had such strict, he was so strict about requiring that not only would he allow a handicap, he'd only allow it if we were able to pronounce the level name correctly first try. And he wouldn't accept a handicap otherwise. You know, very strict requirements from Naglaria. Camel, of course, turned it down because that was unwinnable, naturally. It'd be very hard to pronounce both Colonel and Camel in a row, if those even are the correct pronunciations. But I made a suggestion because, you know, why not have some fun and try to bait Naglaria into trying out his own low percent. And the challenge was, can Naglaria do it in the time limit? Unfortunately, he was not, but he was able to get help from the Worlds for a bit there. Got to the third Terra 5 times, but didn't get it. So I honestly, I was rooting for you. I was hoping you'd get really close, and you'd be able to feel the tension, and you'd be able to clutch it out. I did think it could go either way. But, you know, I'm not gonna complain too much about winning the challenge, I guess, because it didn't really take me that didn't really take that much for me to just propose it. But, you know, if he got it, that's a big win. I did the same thing with Cow during practice week for Avocado Twist any percent route, and Cow was able to pull it off. So, you know, can't always win the challenges like that. But I do honestly want to try to do some more challenges like that. So if anyone has any suggestions for those kinds of challenges, like can I do this at all, then, you know, I'll entertain them a little bit. But in general, I think they're almost always going to be possible. So it's got to be like really obscure kind of stuff, and maybe you can convince me to agree to it if you explain why it's that. crazy, just a little. But nonetheless, I don't have a replay to show there, unfortunately. I do have low jump to watch. So Miles and A-Boss did some low jump. The climbing section defeated one of the challenges in low jump, always dealing with climbing. But fortunately, a lot of this level doesn't have much going up. Especially because the boosts kind of line up for you. They just gradually descend. And you can end with an up heavy. So this was, like I said, they added both of their low dash and low jump times together, but because Miles won on both of them, he definitely won on the cumulative aspect of it. I'm saving a little time there. That's a big difference. Let's jump into low dash. Actually, I'll show out of bounds after this. We'll jump into low dash. First, let's watch the struggle of low dash. I remember JVC said he did this to help Miles come up with ideas. Is there a good anyone that did zero that want to show the struggle? I could show rodents again. Or not Jake's. Yours is a real one. Well, let's check out rodents. We'll show the struggle of low dash. Already experiencing the struggle. Not being able to have the boost at the beginning. Low dash is, it's usually a tough one for me to approve. Sometimes it can be a little awkward on levels. It's not usually something that a lot of people tend to enjoy. So I don't really want to make the side leaderboards unfun, you know? So, like some other categories that sometimes get turned down, low dash is one that I view with a little skepticism. But it has been a while since we've had any low dash action, so it ended up working out pretty well here, after all.
Yeah, I mean, this one was fairly interesting from a puzzle solving standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, no dash is it's like a different kind of casual first play. A lot of casual players don't even bother dashing. That's just the way it is. So if you go look at Dustkid anytime and check out like a random player playing beginner tutorial or something, sometimes they look a little like this, except with a little less direction. No attacking dusts. You gotta touch all the dust yourself. The final boost is also really funny with landing on those pillars in a row.
Yeah, for sure.
Plant was the one that ended up trying out low dash first, and confirming it ended up working out fine. So, you know, thanks to Plant, we ended up doing this leaderboard after all. Was an
Shout out
early
to Clint.
tester. But despite that, only getting 5th place. But still a lot of good ideas. A lot of ceiling boosts to get that speed. Very important. Keep speed where you can. Stay in the air.
Mhm.
I'll remember to turn on ghosts at some point.
Yeah, so apparently A-Boss Miles and my replays were pretty different. As it's being mentioned in the world chat.
I'll make sure we get the ghost of this one then. Very useful ceilings. Arb saved some time early, but gave it away. How will he make it back? Lost a little more time. Alright, some good boosts. And they come together a bit at the ending. Miles only 0.1 ahead. Using the same ceiling strat.
I'm not gonna lie, I never even considered using the ceiling.
He used some other ceilings well.
Yeah, I mean the one right at the start is the one that I just never even crossed my mind. But
Miles with a big lead over Arb despite the eventual difference. All made back here, it looks like.
Yep.
Oh no, Miles. He's in last. Oh, that's good though.
very cool. Yeah, I mean after seeing all of these, 32 makes a lot more sense now. So
Yeah, so what if we combined some of these ideas? And maybe had a few new ones. Fishy with the lead. He's gonna keep that.
jumping left there makes entirely too much sense. Yeah.
Fishy combining all the routes. And with a little different ending.
Ah, that's cool. The back heavy. That's wonderful.
Miles might have had the edge on the strat there. But very close nonetheless, I would guess. What else we got? Out of bounds, which was actually unload. So let's show that one. Where's this one? Oh, enable unload. Okay. So this one's this is an interesting one too. Callistus came in with this suggestion yesterday. Yeah, I wonder if I think there's gonna be at least one. Alright. So, that might look a little strange to some people. Well, it turns out you can unload in this level by dodging some death zones.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, you can barely squeeze it in, right here. No death zones unload or anything like that. So at first what we were thinking was, when we looked at this, we're like, you might have to twirly. That doesn't look too good. Is a twirly what Cow ended up doing? Do we know? I'll just watch it. It's pretty quick. No. Neither one went for a twirly. Oh wait, just kidding. Looked away. But yeah, at first we were thinking we might have to do a twirly here, and then I was like, oh, you might just have to do two twirlies, and then alright, then Camel saw a route, I guess. I wasn't aware of it. I just pinged Fishy and I was like, hey, you're a twirly guy. Because he's definitely the best at twirlies on our team. Can you do this? But Fishy decided he didn't want to do a twirly also. And he gets his jump back a little bit earlier. So very quick climb from Fishy there. And then he's off. Yeah, Fishy's the top player, especially this week. We do also have some 2-player. This time with legit replays. I think I'll watch those after normal SS.
Oh, yeah, before we do this, Blind was asking what a twirly was in the Twitch chat.
That's not gonna be the easiest thing for me to show on screen, to demonstrate right now. But in general, let me try to do a quick demo. So, a twirly is when you basically do this for a while, and then somehow you get your jump, or you get your wall run back. It's pretty tough, as you can tell. It's something that I have not practiced, but a few people use like a metronome for, and there are a couple little videos. And generally a twirly costs about a second of time, even if you succeed getting it, so they're usually very slow. And they're pretty hard to get. How it lines up is if you look at the state and the state timer. So when I enter wall grab idle, I can let go of the wall. So I climb all the way to the end of the wall run. I enter wall grab idle here. Now I can let go of the wall, and then I can press left back into the wall. This is task, so I'm just doing it immediately. Now what you have to do is wall grab on exactly the correct subframe, so that it lines up with eventually after you hold left into the wall for 10 frames exactly, you can then you then enter wall grab idle, and that's when it looks like you're sliding down the wall. But if you release at that time, assuming the state timer lines up, which you can see the 2.0 out of 2.0, that's what we're looking for. Then I let go of the wall again, and it turns out I can wall run one more time. So that's what a twirly looks like when it's successful. When it's not successful, then you're just doing this for a bunch of time. You'll see that this time the state timer didn't line up. So, you know, let's try again. In TAS, there's a really easy setup as Kid, fortunately. It's just, you know, hit right for 1 frame and then hit left. So that's pretty nice. Well, that's a twirly. That was easier to show off than I thought. Useful for low jump, and is always a warning, like a little thing that I have to look for. If people are looking for low jump on their levels, I'm like, alright, are there twirlies? If there are twirlies that would save too much time, then there's not going to be a low jump on the DLC leaderboard. I think I turned everything off. Alright, well, let's watch some normal replays. We watched a few other ones. This was one of the hardest invert keys, actually. This had the smallest amount of time difference percentage from invert to world record. We had 8 people ended up getting the invert key here. That was 24.6. So, a strict one, but it's good to have some strict ones. So let's see
that
what.
was actually only 8 people.
Yep, 8 plus the 2 top players.
Yeah.
Red key was 25.5, also pretty strict. Let's see what just missed the margin, and we'll skip ahead from there. But definitely a challenging level here, both in terms of requirements for execution. A little awkward at times because of all the 1 tile stuff going on. Fortunately, there is a 2 tile slope right there, so it's not all 1 tile. But still a very clean run from Not Jake. Unfortunately, not good enough for red. Sitting at the top of gold. Oh yeah, there was a challenge between Plant and JVC on this level, which JVC clutched it out in the
just
final
barely,
day,
yeah.
I heard. JVC trying to assert dominance while he still can. Someone was Wazi. Check out Dozion's run. First invert Wazi didn't get. Yeah, Wazi was an invert plus player until today.
Uh,
But don't worry, some invert plus players may be saddened when they see some weak 4 key times.
oh boy.
Ooh. We'll see if they keep it up. Lotus with a good run here.
Everyone looking forward to all the wood keys next week.
Wood keys are
Building
gonna
floors.
stay the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, the keys are probably gonna be roughly the same as they were this week for next week.
Yeah, it does seem to be the general trend that there's just one map that is significantly stricter than the others for invert.
Yeah, it's hard to guess when you know, you don't have enough time to think about strats yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we can guess this one's gonna have some strats on it, but sometimes you don't find anything new even after a couple days. We have a little bit of a gap here, around the 10th place. Duck and Quantum probably doing similar stuff.
I don't recall, but probably. I think they both got this today, unless Quantum got it yesterday. Maybe I forget.
But both barely getting that invert key. I think they both made invert plus, all 6 inverts. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have 3 on your team that are doing that. Definitely
It was-
carrying your team.
It was tighter this week, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So the most deviation that I expected here would be the climbing section in the top right. Alex has a pretty good lead thanks to some stuff there. But most of the rest of the level is pretty similar. Not too much else you can do in some places. It gets more linear. It gets more linear the farther you go.
Yeah, definitely. Very much an execution heavy map.
One girl player. Some players probably considered girl here because it turns out you can actually do a side heavy at the end. You can jump in side heavy, but that is actually a little slower than just keeping your dash and up heavying. So we'll see if Nighthawk falls victim to the ending. Yeah, lost a little time there. Snow with a good run. Snow wasn't active in DLC, I think, until this week.
Wait, JVC, what do you mean double jumping?
He was going for the side heavy, obviously.
I mean, yeah, but you know, I'm not gonna say anything more.
Was JVC jump down heavying?
God, I hope not.
We'll see soon. I'm gonna reset the replays.
What do you mean you didn't realize? You just put yourself at the end and dash twice and up heavy, man.
I mean, it sounds like he eventually learned from Miles.
Yeah.
Up heavy was necessary to win the challenge. Let it be known. So you can thank Miles for that. Yeah, it's a team effort. DLC is all about helping your team out.
And I was about to be tilted if I lost to a run that double jumped at the end.
Yeah, I'd be wondering what JVC did that saved so much time elsewhere.
Yeah.
Plant was trying to flex for a while on this map, even though he didn't account for the early leaderboards from being on the team that made it. He was competitive even before he counted. And JVC a little bit behind, but he'll make it up with the jump, obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah, he'll make it up at the end. All right, better boost. Just slightly enough. I'm surprised it worked out that way.
Yeah, the ending boosts are pretty big, like relatively speaking, rather large chunks of time there. So.
Yeah, but how do you save another quarter second?
How indeed.
Beginning looks pretty similar, and Fishy's actually behind whoever's in front. I think oh, don't want to turn that on. I don't know. I have a button for toggling replay aims. But Fishy pulling ahead. It's this one? Oh, that's particles.
Yeah, but okay, it's mainly a time diff in this, or a hands diff in this case.
Probably. Oh, that was the wrong button. Anyway, let's watch Camels run without ghosts. Camel spoiling some differences real quick.
Ah, yes. Is that actually faster? That's crazy.
I don't really think it's that much faster.
Like I can definitely see the dash jump from that point, but the ledge cancel I think is a little suspect, but I don't know.
We're about
I
to
didn't really
find
test
out.
this one too much. Yeah. This one I didn't test too much, so.
Same. I actually had a different idea here.
Yeah, I think we were actually talking about this like earlier in the week, where it was just like, yeah, I mean, there's probably something in the climb, but I don't feel like testing it.
Yeah, so Camel with a slight lead from the better boost, getting a lot more height. He actually had a cleaner second run. Not by much, but that's where he took the lead.
Mm.
And then he has to have a good ending.
So you went for the boost on the lower part there. That's interesting.
Yeah, let's watch that one again. So he does an instant wall jump, down dash and wall jump on the slanted wall. Alright, good job to Camel. Making sure he gets the first records, at least, of the levels that we watched. But it's mostly going to be the Fishy show from here. You have a replay here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Let me watch that one.
It's everything except our map. Though admittedly, this replay is a very old one. I believe this was... I'm not sure if it was first day, but it was definitely the first draft of it.
Yeah, I have one like that too. Not as fast. It was even more first drafty. The ones that I make usually aren't that optimal for execution. But I'll probably show a couple off later. You know, when relevant. Same ideas though. You do a jump into that ceiling though. That's something people don't do.
I mean, it's incredibly tight. I cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're gonna see some from some kid replays later on.
Yeah, probably JVC. I would not be surprised.
All right, 2-player. We got a couple replays to watch. This one might be a little hard to see what's going on. So, 2 players. Looks like a pretty even split. That's the way this level kind of goes in 2-player. We see the strat at the end.
Oh no, dude.
Let's watch the other player. I wouldn't be able to zoom out enough to show, but you can kind of infer what's going on. All right, not the cleanest run, you know, but clean enough to be on the leaderboard. This is as competitive as 2-player gets. JVC cleans up the ending though.
Wait, how many points is 2-player worth?
None. It's only
None?
it only matters for the top player versus
player
the world
versus world.
stuff,
Okay.
which is basically whoever gets world record gets some
Yeah,
points there. but it hasn't been contested much at all yet. Unfortunately, this run's corrupted, kind of like mine and Aki's. I don't have a good solution for that, unfortunately, at this time. We just can't watch it. I'll try to fix it for DLC 5, and you know, maybe multiplayer will exist again anyway. But it'd be great if we can get some more multiplayer action. I recommend it for challenges. Camel and I, so Camel did the man run. He did the climb with, you know, pretty normal strats. We actually, this runs at 40 FPS, by the way. So this was a grind, but not in the reasons we would like it to be. You've already seen most of the other side of the run. We just fall through, and then I skip a few prisms because I know Camel can catch up. 40 FPS got my boost right there. So we tried for a bit to try to beat this and get a low 14, but ran out of time for what we were trying to do. So 2-player could have been beaten yet again, perhaps. Had a little flub there. Unfortunately, 40 FPS does that for you sometimes. Relatable. But that is Colonel Camel. These remaining maps don't have as much detail to all the other leaderboards on them, fortunately, so we can speed through them. The next one is Drainage Tunnel. This one was the site of 2 TASes as well.
This is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, so we'll save those for the end. We'll start with Dash Forever though, because that's relatively simple. So Dash Forever, any percent was the leaderboard here. I wonder if there's a good intro replay to show. We have 1 SS. V ceilings, getting a lot of points from just doing it. Let's watch a casual Dash Forever run. This might have been no direction Dash Forever. So yeah, let's show this one for fun. So originally the plan was low direction Dash Forever, but it turns out that's not a real leaderboard. So this is what people missed out on. So Dash Forever, what this is keeps you in the dash state when you dash. You know, dashes normally take 12.6 frames, as we all know. And if you didn't know, now you know that it's 12.6. And that's 3 subframes. There are 5 subframes per frame, by the way. We always learn a few things in DLC. So this is the story of what could have been. Fortunately, we were allowed to press directions, and I think that was a good decision after all. So not the easiest challenge. You can see the Dash Forever. You could argue it's a little clunky, perhaps. I guess we'll watch Steel Echo's SS for fun.
But yeah, why did Steel Echo SS this?
Yeah.
That's crazy, actually.
Probably just minimize using dash, if I had to guess. There's a dash. I recommend trying this out on some levels like Titan.
Oh, you didn't realize? Yeah, okay.
Night Hall. You know, ones that you normally dash a lot on. And then just having a little relaxation. A little catharsis. Compared to the normal way to play the levels.
Okay, so apparently Steel Echo thought it was actually Dash Forever SS to start with, so that
Yeah.
explains that.
Let's watch JVC's run.
Yeah, very nice replay regardless.
JVC making big use of his dashes. But that will not save much time. getting a point on the board. Alright, Alex doing this route. That geometry at the bottom there was placed for Dash Forever. But sometimes the best boosts are not the ones that you keep forever. Aboss showing off the difficult ending. That's one of the reasons why it was a girl favored ending with that side heavy. Fishy also not doing many dashes. Doing a light while on the ground to leave dash state.
Interesting.
This one was a second ahead of the other players, so it just kind of sat there for a while, waiting to be bopped, and Plant was able to do it. Guess I should have had Ghosts on to compare the beginnings. Plant losing a little time at the end there, but probably made it up with that start. Some route changes, but good on Plant for a world record.
Very nice.
Let's do a quick check for what challenges happened here. There were no normal challenges on this level. Just 2 tasks, it looks like. There was a challenge between Wazi and JVC. So I'll show those. So they wanted to see who got the best SS on the level by midnight, April 12th, UTC, which is even earlier than the early deadline, because they both claimed to not be able to play too much this week, and it turns out JVC was lying, or at least later in the week he played more. He was able to do pretty well on some levels.
Hey.
JVC outplayed Wazi, it turns out.
That's the classic.
Yeah, just lie.
You know, some might call it a reverse snipe. Yeah, we.
Okay.
Anyway.
So yeah, we'll watch these ones. So these are early runs. This one had a 15-second invert time. And Wazi comfortably under 15 seconds. This was world record for a bit. You know, this ended up still being 7th place, which is still very good. I gotta turn on Ghosts. JVC's run is actually what his PB ended up being. This level didn't end up seeing any further development. Plant did tie JVC though. So let me back up a little bit. And let's show off exactly what it took for an invert. Couple minor boost flubs, but you know, good enough for invert. Lost a little bit of time there though. Probably could have made it into top 10, I think. You know, some of those boosts were a little damaging. unfortunately. Quantum Coral, maker of the map for the most part, obviously got helped by the team. I see I did turn on the ghost tag somehow. I guess I just couldn't see what I was putting on. Maybe it's delete. I don't know. We'll find out. Home button. This replay ghost for me. Page up is the nameplate. That's what it is. When the replay ghosts are all on top of each other, I won't turn it on. But now I remember what it's set to. ARB going a little lower at the start. Some better boosts in the middle. Jumping up there for a light attack.
Yeah, keeping that boost into that one tile hallway is actually rather difficult. Just time to time the dash on the ground. Rather big speed with rather big speed loss if you don't.
Indipop's been getting a lot of invert keys. Good to see Indipop on the leaderboards again. Plant doing a dash jump. Everybody's doing the beginning a little bit better than the next person. Or the previous person. What could possibly be a frame tie? JVC able to do a higher down heavy at the end. Also winning that challenge with Wazi. Camel sitting 3 frames ahead. Got this pretty quickly. Left an easy target for anyone willing to grind. But a tighter ending. Really clutched it out here. But Fishy really grinded this level. And is going to save 0.3 more. Mostly saves it at the beginning.
Ooh, that's cool.
Looks pretty similar other than that.
Yep.
Good play for Fishy.
Yeah, fun little medals right there. That was cool.
Yeah. Alright. What wacky stuff happened here before I do the tasks? I think it was just so there was a challenge between Issa and Camel on this level. I don't know if Issa got around to getting a run on it, unfortunately. But I guess not. The challenge between them was Camel had to play Worth, and he had to. Who's this named after?
Goji, right?
the Goji challenge. All right. So the Goji challenge, Goji has or had a top 10 run on Dahlia SS as worth some time ago, and apparently he just stood there for 0.6 seconds, just waiting for the cycle. You know, just standing still in one spot, not doing anything, and then waited for a cycle in order to not spread dust with a turkey. So inspired by that, Issa requested Camel to stand still for 0.6, and that's what Camel did his worth. But Camel putting up a surprisingly good run. You know, even able to get a red key with that sub 16. So perhaps discouraging Issa a bit from grinding it, because Camel did get a good run. Stand still for a little bit there. Now, you guys have seen this. Are there any predictions to how long Camel actually stood still?
That felt like 0.3, if that.
So I'm qualifying standing still as no inputs at all, if you want to get technical.
Okay, fair.
So no inputs. We have 0.4. Fresh thing, it looks like a 0.4, and TBC's like it's a 0.5. Possible cheater? We'll find out.
0.38 says Lightning.
0.38. So Camel lands and is not moving at all on this frame. Is holding directions for a little bit and still undergoes the heavy animation, but is not doing anything at all. The heavy's done. This is just, you know, heavy is over. You know, not really doing anything. No directions on this frame. And then a little bit later on that frame we have action. So let's count it on no directions. So 663. 698. So that was
35 frames, right?
yeah, just under 0.6.
Oh wow, that actually is 1 frame away from 0.6.
Yeah, that is so just in terms of no directions at all, he stood still for roughly 0.6. And if you want to get if you want to add his time where he's actually standing still but hasn't let go of that direction yet, then it's over 0.6. You had 0.1.
Yeah, so if we count from when the heavy's over, yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, so it's closer to 0.7 if you count the actual time standing still. So he's, you know, he wins in my opinion. It's still fine. You know, not DQ'd. So Camel skirts by.
There is, of course, the chance that he stood still at the very start of the map too.
Oh yeah, true. But we're talking about in one spot alone, I'm sure.
That's fair. Yeah.
But he probably held right at the beginning. So don't worry, Camel's not a cheater after all. But definitely a good worth run. I mean, you take out that standing still and you're looking at an invert time for worth.
Okay, so
yeah, I want to make sure I got it all. So we have an SS task and a character swap SS task on this level.
who did the Okay, well, I did the SS task, but that wasn't for a challenge. And actually, no, I didn't. I didn't do an SS task here.
We also have low direction. Let me just show that one off.
It was Sasha and Fresh for the other SS
I see.
task, I believe.
Ooh, low direction is close.
I messed this up in lost a lot of time at the end. But
Not Jake with some dash forever strats on low direction. Ooh, cool boost setup. Jumps into the ceiling. Alright, they're synced. They're synced a little bit. Ooh, and the better ending.
Yeah. Quantum was aiming for a sub 17 on this. And he actually showed me a screenshot where that could have been it, but missed an input at the end or something.
yeah, it's a frame perfect jump right before you land.
Mm.
That last chunk right before the prisms, it's kind of up to hit.
Alright, so I have 2 tasks to show off before the character swap task. You know, because character swap is understandably going to be a little faster and wilder. First we have the challenge between Fresh and Sasha, who made the just normal SS task here. Okay. Gives off because they'll mess up with tasks. So we have a 12.345 AB from Sasha, and from Fresh we have an SS 54.321. So very
Nice.
creative. Fresh is somehow not showing up on the published leaderboard. Not really sure why that is. We couldn't figure it out. But let's watch Sasha's. Let's see what this looks like even faster. So some pretty expected strats. A few tweaks that make it quite a bit faster. Really good execution, of course. I haven't looked too hard at these tasks, so I don't really know exactly what to expect. But definitely a good climb. The point of contention that adds a lot of challenge to these tasks is probably going to be right here. If I had some comments from either of them, we'll see if they're saying much in chat.
I don't see anything from either.
Then I expect that this was the hardest part, to find something that was quick. And perhaps that'll be the same case for the character swap. Not really sure. Other than that, I'm sure there might be some divergence in the climb. But it is, you know, everybody already showed off their, you know, just do a grounded attack and some other variations, and then do other stuff. But we have, you know, we have some jump heavies that are really hard to line up, so that's why they're done in tasks. Let's hope that ghosts work for a moment. We'll just watch Sasha's one more time, and then I'll open up Fresh's, see what happens. Alright, 12.968.
Nice.
Fresh doing 2 lights. Different kind of ledge jump. Very similar stuff overall. Pretty hard to compare. Can't really tell because of no ghosts. I do see Fresh is on the leaderboard somehow.
Interesting. That's weird.
But
Wait,
Fresh
now-
with the 12.8.
Whatever.
So good job to Fresh with an 11 frame or a 10 frame win. We have a little RLJ during the first climb. And then right here, what Fresh did is something very similar to an LSJ, but without the actual usual use of it in terms of getting a dash jump out of it. But this still does qualify as a ledge slip jump because you're setting up sliding off the ledge from your ledge climb. You do that to jump immediately and still barely hit this side heavy. Very hard to hit that. Grabs the ceiling.
There's only one version of the map as far as I know, so I don't know how this happened.
Actually, there are two versions. I think this
Are
one
there?
did get uploaded. Maybe maybe Fresh used the wrong ID somehow.
What?
I wonder. Yeah, this might be the different camera. There's a
Oh, I
camera
see.
change right here. Yeah, I guess Fresh just put in the wrong ID number when publishing the replay. But don't worry, they sync.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, they do. It's just a camera change. But that explains the issue, at least. I wonder I wonder how he got that ID though.
Oh. Some secret back channels. Who knows?
It didn't enter an ID. Oh, maybe you used the level you already had. Oh, you typed it into the composer dropdown. Maybe that still has it. Maybe that has the hidden levels. Well, we're about to make it a little spicy for tasks. So I have two plugins that I'm turning on. One is Character Swap, and the other is one that I made for these two contestants that is going to show how many frames they're spending per character, which handles a condition of their challenge, which was they have to spend at least 2 seconds per character. You know, that's 2 seconds total for each character. You know, all added up, just make sure you get over 120 frames. For this one, Fresh, I thought you had a, so you sent me a replay that we're about to see if it works. This is, we're testing it live. Let me get that up.
I would also suggest that we watch. So I'm assuming we are going to watch these multiple times through, but I
Yeah.
would suggest that at least one of these be in some form of slow motion.
I'll watch it at normal speed first. But I thought Fresh had a faster one than the one that you sent me. It doesn't quite imply that you lost yet. But I did think you had a faster time. So did you have multiple versions of the task? Arb, did you also make one of these, by the way?
I did not publish it, but I do have a time that I will say after we watch these two.
Okay. If it's worth showing off because of
Actually, I
differences,
may
you might as well just make a replay though.
Yeah, I might still have it saved in my state files. Let me check.
Yeah, I still got all of my states. All right, we're about to find out if this works. Okay, I got this stuff up. Here's a replay from Fresh. So when you press taunt, you change characters, and you always cycle one character at a time. You go in order: man, girl, kid, worth, just like the character select screen. So Fresh hits the minimums of 120 on his characters. Spent a lot of time as kid there. We'll watch that one more time. This time in slightly slow motion. So you can see a lot of use of getting 2 jumps from kid when you're on the ground. Very important. There's a lot of changing attacks during the attack animations, changing directions for attacks. There are a lot of quirks to that. If you want to explain any of those quirks, feel free to jump in whenever you want. But there is a lot of stuff to unpack, potentially.
Yeah, the character slot testing is incredibly complex. Like,
Fresh missed something at the end as well.
It sounds like it. We'll find out what that is. Quantum starting as man.
There's a very particular reason for the start of this.
I should have made a counter for total swaps. That would have been fun to see. 169, 169. So, just barely getting enough worth time in there. Hopefully that wasn't
I
a
did
challenge.
actually go back and add frames today.
and I sent you the one that I mocked up.
Oh, Snow, you want to do the down heavy started as worth and then switch to man so you fall faster?
Yeah.
It saves like 2 or 3 frames in the fall.
Yeah, but that's minor compared to the quarter second difference here. Almost 0.3 actually. There
Wonder where all
are a
that-
handful of different changes.
Hey, Fresh.
Hey, did I see an up heavy was getting all the dust in that alcove?
Yeah,
What? Ah,
girls up heavy.
girls up heavy, really?
Girls up heavy. So switch
Okay,
to
so-
girl, switch to kid, switch to man. And this is to line up this boost along the bottom. And it just so happened that we get the switch to worth on the frame that kid jumps, and you get worth with 2 air charges. Kind of whack.
Wait, so is that a subframe thing?
It's
'Cause
a
I-
subframe thing.
That is actually
Oh,
a very specific character swap thing. If you swap from kid to worth on the subframe that you jump, you get worth's initial jump, but you have 2 air charges.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't know
I
that.
definitely missed that. I was every place that I was trying to do that with worth, I would just jump with kid,
Just kid
and
and
then
swap,
yeah,
Yeah,
It's
there's
not
that's
a-
that.
big.
It's not a massive time loss because you still get worth's jump gravity, but
Mhm.
yeah, the initial impulse is definitely a few frames saved per time.
So
Yeah.
this part cycles through characters to manipulate the gravity, which was really wacky.
Yeah, so there's like, kid has the highest fall acceleration.
Getting some worth
Um,
time in at the end.
So there's tons of times where you do a down dash with man or girl to get the fast down dash fall speed, and then immediately switch to kid to get maximum acceleration.
Yes.
So you can use That and also Worth's lower fall acceleration to manipulate your speed to pretty much whatever you need.
Yep.
The other big thing that's really hard to see is the attack. The attack that you use, whatever character you are when you start an attack is what the attack will stay. Unless there are some situations where like touching the ground, touching walls, maybe, or changing direction.
Change of direction.
Will change it, but yeah. So there's like a really funny one in my TAS that actually yours probably does it too, but using a huge Worth attack but switch to Kid so you get the 2 air charges and it's just like impossibly far away hitting the first prism or the second prism in the map. Yeah, I really like that climb. I was going to try that today, getting the boost low to boost onto the first peg, but I didn't have time to work it out.
Yeah, Quantum basically lined that up like by chance, and like could not, like, he lost his replay and could not replicate it for a long time.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. I just do stuff in frame advance, and I'm like, I'll do that again.
I stepped in on that to extract like the input data from some of his from the corrupted replay, but like I couldn't figure out where the taunt inputs were either. So.
Oh yeah, that too. Definitely hard to work with the script and DLC's script.
Yep.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll encourage Alex to add the taunt inputs to Dusted. I'm sure that'd be a cool change to have.
That would be nice too.
And mouse inputs might as well, right?
I did send you the my version of this that I made up.
Nice. All right, Arb, the character swap master though, the one with the experience. I'm gonna school these 2 players in character swap real quick.
By a lot. So yeah.
And even followed the same rules.
Interesting.
Whether he intended to or not.
I didn't. That just gotta happen. But I was actually telling Quantum from the start. It was like, it's gonna be a really low chance that you can't hit these thresholds because you're going to spend time as all these characters.
Yeah.
That's my nature of how this works. Like.
Yeah, every time you go through, you're getting 2 per character.
Yeah, and there's also the big boost at the bottom that you just have freedom to switch to whatever you want to make up for it. God, that's such a nice climb.
Yeah.
Ooh, did you manage to line up an ADB there? I could not get that to work.
That barely works. It's like, I'm pretty sure it was like a subframe off of working there.
It's really down heavy also.
Ooh, in the Worth light. I don't know why I didn't even try that. God, that subframe trick is so big.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I mean, you know, Worth with your air charges is just kind of like, it kind of speaks for itself, right? Like,
yeah. Have you seen what happens if you swap on the frame that you end the level?
Yeah, you just keep cycling. Yeah.
I'm sad it didn't end up in my replay, but
it looks like it only works when you do it the first time. I haven't gotten it to repeat for rewatching the replay.
Yeah, I made a video of it if you want to show on stream, Xanda.
Yeah, let me try to pull that up. Did you just link it to me again?
Yeah.
Well, it's less of a Worth abuse and more of like, it's actually more of a Kid abuse of it, honestly. It turns out that giving all the other characters 2 air charges is pretty busted.
Yeah.
Or being able to have like 1 frame of time dilation.
Yeah, exactly. Like Hid's Lights are actually extremely good in this.
Yeah.
You know, this is even worse because of the Kirby sprite.
Yeah.
And then you see Kirby's sprites at the end too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the triple Kirby.
It'd be cool if there were one change to the plugin, it just did that at the end no matter what.
Yeah, right?
Nicely done, Quantum.
Thanks, Fresh. You want to do it again next week?
I would, but I am not around next week actually.
Yeah, I might have to take on all the task challenges myself,
Time to overload Xanda.
which I'm fine with. I do enjoy doing tasks more than the other stuff in DLC. That's it for this level though. Looks like that is all of them.
Can you rewatch mine again real quick?
Oh my god.
There were like I clearly didn't say what.
Oh my god. I just left the level. Good thing I still have the plugin on.
What part was it from?
So I clearly like my climb is not anywhere near as good, and I lost a lot of time going all the way to this wall for no reason. I'm curious how my middle section, like my alcove section, compares.
That I don't know. I didn't really test either way when I
Yeah.
was making mine, and I kind of left Quantum to his own devices, handling most of it. So
Yeah, you guys can link your replays to each other. Might as well.
Yeah, we can go through
It's
it.
hard to publish this kind of stuff.
yeah, I mean, you actually can't be a composer because there's no taunt stream. So
Yeah. Okay. Wipophobia.
yeah, this was a map.
Yeah, me counting girl frames. So this one, it was a little bit between this map and Colonel Camel. Which one was going to end up a little bit more like Envious Obelisk? That's the way it seemed at first. They both had some pretty strict requirements for keys. Let me double check how many people got them. Actually, I guess I was confusing them a little bit. But this one actually had a lot of players get the invert keys later on. So we ended up catching up to some of the other levels. So good to see some people earn their inverts.
Yeah, this map was very much press dash good.
Yeah. So let's see what Glass did, who hit that 17.6 cutoff. There are a few tricks that you can do here, especially involving that prism. So we'll see how people handle the possible dust spread that results if you decide to heavy it a certain way. Typically you will not see people do an up heavy though, because that's from some pretty wild dust. Maybe we'll see a down heavy. I'm a little doubtful. I would guess side heavy more than
I'm
anything
curious
else,
with ABC.
or maybe
because-
some back heavies. Okay. Let's watch another Wazzy run.
Very lost small prism.
Okay, there's the side heavies. A lot of boosts lining up on the platforms pretty nicely. yeah, they work out pretty well overall. Some are a little harder to hit than others, but part of the challenge is that you still have an air charge while you're going for these boosts. So if you dash too early, you'll use up your air charge and dash rather than hit it on the ground. Monkley with a good run. But we'll probably see pretty similar strats across the board. We have a light heavy. Ends up being roughly the same as some of these other times. Let's see what
the wall
JVC
jump
did.
Wait, JVC, the wall jump? That is slower than presumably what you're doing. Let's see what you're doing.
Alright, JVC with two different heavies. A little bit ahead with different boosts. JVC saving a bunch of time. Not
Yeah, no,
doing
what
the
you-
wall jumps.
Yeah, what you're doing there is faster, JVC.
Yeah, by a lot.
Yeah.
Not the fastest thing you could do there.
It's not, but
But-
it's probably the easiest fast option.
Yeah. Let's see what Indivop did. There's a slightly faster thing that you can do that's very similar though. You could do an RLJ if you want, you know.
Yeah, you could. You could RLJ.
Alright, and the pop also doing the same buffer jump. That's what I would recommend generally to people as well. That's what I first did. Quantum Coral, aka Basement Dweller. Grinded this one for
So
quite a
what-
bit
yeah.
too.
One and I actually approach this very differently, so
Okay,
also view mine.
quite a lead here. Doing the wall jump. Was this the same as the early leaderboard PB as well? Is this
That I don't
is that
know.
this level? Quantum
sure.
had second on the early PB. Plant had the early world record, and Arb kind of snuck in the middle.
Yeah, JVC. I had to challenge JVC on this one, and he got me in like yesterday, so I had to play it again.
Yeah. You guys went back and forth a little bit there. Alright, we see a down heavy. Only one doing down heavy. Had to do some extra attacks because of it, but creative in how you can handle the dust.
Yeah, so that strat is in TAS 2 frames faster than the side heavy. But RTA, I feel like I'm probably losing time. So
Yeah, I tried it out for a bit and wasn't able to do anything good with it. Well, let's see what Plant does. Alright.
similar strat, yeah.
Yeah, it turns out
Very-
the strats really are very similar in timing, even though they're very different.
Very clean execution. Plants run though, just
Yeah.
losing time in the ending, basically.
Yeah, but some big points to Plant. Defeating the world, but not the top players.
Mm.
Camel breaking into the 16s, though. Playing girl for, I don't actually remember if there's a reason.
This I'm not sure. I mean, it makes the side heavy easier, but
So Camel
other
does
than
two
that-
side heavies. And has different dashing.
interesting.
And then the faster thing is doing a ledge cancel and
Yep.
getting a little bit farther to the right because of the dash.
Yeah, I tried that for a bit and just kept falling too far to the right. So
Fishy with the same strats. Getting the same kind of boost too. Almost everything's the same as Fishy as Camel. So one thing that Girl makes a little bit easier is the section with this dust spread. It makes it a little bit more lenient. You can do the heavy from a little bit lower and still hit the highest dust. So maybe that's what Camel was thinking about. when picking girl, or maybe
Yeah.
he wanted to continue the trend of different characters, which we have different characters on Urban Undergrowth and Wipeophobia, but we fell in line with 2 of the other levels. This one did have an intense kid any percent though. Fishy with 0.6 lead over the pack.
And a DS instead of a DA.
Yeah, kept combo. He was so fast.
Yep.
Did you have a run on this, by the way, Arb? Replay?
I did have it as the SS, yes. That should
Okay.
be in the.
Yeah, I have a save state of 1, 2 that I'd show off depending on what we do. There are a bunch of strats that can go faster than Fishy, but we'll see what we end up doing. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. I only show off one of them, but first let's see what not kid looks like. Let's set a baseline. I'm deciding to
Yeah, I was actually.
not hit the prism. So, could have saved time by getting a jump back from the prisms. Probably also at the end get a little bit more of a boost. But, relatively simple, any percent. But the tricky thing is you gotta do it as kid, and that's quite challenging in a few ways.
So,
It does open up options, though, for boosts.
Yeah. I actually had very briefly considered using Kid for the SS on this one, like right at the start of the week, before looking at the map and seeing all the attacks you need. But like, boosting wise, she's actually pretty good here. So if the 80% had been opened up to other characters, I feel like Kid would still be pretty close to the top.
Yeah, we just we made sure we limited to kid.
Mhm.
Encourage people to be on the same playing field. So Foxy dropping a little bit of the boosting there. And JVC showing off some boosts. Showing off his dash button.
Gotta press dash good.
Pinky dash users. Cork with a replay. Cork not too active this DLC, but good to see Cork put something up. Certainly picked the challenging one to do out of levels to play.
Right? But I mean, dash map's very much up Cork's alley, so.
Yeah. But this one's also challenging in that you need to find the right boosts to line up. So routing's challenging in DLC. You got to come up with your own route.
Or at least your team does.
Well, right. Cork placing highest on Argon Avengers, right? That's what it looks like. Yeah, we have HGT and Duck from Ike Ether. Plant and Alex are on the same team, and iHeartCake is from the Y team. I imagine Plant and Alex did the same thing. Or at least hopefully they did, so we can skip 15 seconds. Plant with very similar boosts, but a little tighter. Getting a heavy though. There was a brief 3-way tie between these top 3 players.
Oh, yeah.
But Duck ended up breaking the tie for that extra point and knocking down iHeartCake. Because, as noted in DLC, frame ties do not count for you. You do not tie for world record, you just got it second, which means you're second. Doug showing off some differences, mostly at the beginning though. Taking his time at the end.
Yeah, I feel like the side of it was a little little late. Eh,
Yep.
What can you do? It wouldn't have been enough to beat Fishy out. So.
A comfy ending for Duck.
Yep.
But how do you save another half second? So Fishy extends the bottom boost a little bit longer with a full jump
He actually
ADB.
did. He did the ADB, dude.
He did
So
a
bad,
full
dude.
jump ADB.
Oh my god.
He didn't do a short hop ADB.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
So let's take it another step and see how far it can go.
No.
Let me
So
see what you
Doug
got.
and I saw that when Doug was playing it, and we were like, nah, no one's gonna do that, right? Nah, surely not. Oh no. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I made a little video for Fishy kind of early in the week once I decided to look at the level for it. He did some of it, but not quite all of it. Did you send this, Arb?
for SS, not for any percent.
Oh, you did this one for SS. Okay.
Yes.
I guess I'll check out the alternate character SSs. Did you do an any percent run on this?
I did.
Replay? No, okay. Well, let me show you not exactly the fastest strats, but some of the strats. If I can try to guess what state set this is on. Not that one. Alright. Starting on frame 56. So, here are some other strats.
Let's see.
So this was the first draft. I don't have future drafts, but this has a very different ADB that honestly, if you're not paying attention, it just kind of goes by you. I think it's really easy to look past it. So I'll slow it down when we get there. But first of all, things I could have done better. One, get a better ceiling bonk, ceiling boost speed here. That sets up this boost. You can get 3 dashes out of it, turns out, and still get a really good dash here. So that's really hard to do. I wasn't able to do it once, by the way. So then this replay, because I didn't do the ceiling bonk, I ended up being right here for this part of the replay. So I just used up my dashes and then did all this, and then I barely landed here in time for a short hop ADB. And then I kept even more speed. And then got a little ceiling boost at the end. So,
And in the ending,
pretty
it's
tough
just as it
stuff.
is.
It turns out what else other things you can do is jump into this ceiling and get another boost here. This one's kind of tight. I don't actually know the best way to line it up, but you can get a boost here, and then that allows you to boost off of this even better, and then you'd probably jump and then jump a couple more times, and then you can do your earlier boost here. Just kind of going through the motions.
I feel like there's probably some sort of jump AVB there or something.
Maybe. It's possible. I don't think you'd be able to low boost again though, so that'd be a little problem. So here I'm here at 671. Let's just compare how that was. Alright, so that's like another 0.1 time save. And then I'm pretty sure I could have done the ending faster, but not by much. And that was taking over from a suboptimal landing here. So could have been even better. Maybe sub 13 could have been pushed if really made a task out of it. But there are some kid strats, and we'll leave it at that. We did have a brief Worth SS on this level also.
Oh yes. Yeah, this was very old back when I thought Worth could be good here, and like he's not awful, but certainly not, you know, not a character you want to keep with for contesting better times.
Worth's nice for lining up some boosts though, because you know that fall speed doesn't hurt you too much for some of these, so it makes it easier to keep certain boosts at times. Also has less friction. So there are some boosts that only work out as Worth eventually.
Yep. There definitely were certain advantages here, but you know, nothing that added up to all the other advantages that Man and Girl had. So
Alright, it looks pretty similar to what I was thinking too for some fast strats. I suggested do the jump from here also right at the end, but that's really tough to line up nicely.
oh, for the ceiling, yeah, the
Yeah.
ceiling block there. Yeah, I actually do that RTA, but I'm fairly sure I do it badly. So
Did you say you had a kid one on this?
no, that is on a different map.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, never mind.
I believe it was.
Let me just double check to make sure I didn't miss any stuff on this level. This one had Ultra Boost. I'm gonna need to double check the replays on that one. No top player versus the world challenges here. So just Ultra Boost on this level. And then whatever other challenges there were. This one had Rodent and Callistus challenge. Plant and Quantum Coral went back and forth a bit. Plant won that. Okay, I need to get these Ultra Boost replays. So Ultra Boost is an experimental, in parentheses, built-in mod that doesn't usually see much use. And I'm unfamiliar with it myself. But you'll get the idea pretty quickly. Basically, boosts are a little faster. I don't know if there's any more depth to it, honestly. But dash, go fast. That is the point of this plugin. We'll see if ghosts work. So Idols replay one more time. Idle and Plant had a challenge here. 2 good boosts. Probably could have extended them a little bit more. You know, really pushed the envelope. But that's what Plant did. Took a lead. And both two promising newer players in the community. Both dealing with the new dangers of DLC.
Definitely is a way to get good fast if that's what your aim is. So.
Alright, that is almost all of the challenges taken care of. and that was all the levels too, for the normal ones. Now we just got the 2 little ones left. So Expedition made by Team BC Links, which does remind me one last time. You know, we've seen the levels. Let me remind people to do the form, by the way. So if you like the levels, vote on your favorite maps. You know, very objectively, by the way. We use this data, especially the final question.
Extremely serious.
I have. Alright, so Expedition. Spoiler, worth 1.
Yeah.
I'm honestly a little surprised that it worked out this way. What happened when we did invert keys on this was basically every top player that tried this was like, this is going to be a worth map. And we spent almost no time as man in terms of like, you know, trying to push it too far. So we knew that they were going to be, you know, reasonably close. But you know, didn't really think too much about like a time difference between them. And honestly, I do think a few more people could have gotten in there. But
Yeah, I never actually got around to just.
yeah, bit divisive with this kind of level style as well. You know, these are some tough levels. DLC does always have some tough levels. They're not always for everybody. But good job to Quantum for defeating the world on both of them by a matter of frames.
Let's go, Quantum.
1 frame's enough, right?
1 frame is enough.
Yep. I heard that this was quite a challenging opening from you guys.
Yeah, I started doing some things in the opening that I wasn't expecting people to actually try to do. And then like I jumped into VC and they're like, "Yo, Arb, your strats suck." So you know that's how that went.
Unsavory things were said.
Yeah.
So this level has the fewest number of inverts and red keys. So this has only 8 inverts and 3 red keys. So one other level, Colonel Camel, also has 8 inverts, but has quite a few more reds. You know, we thought people would grind the short levels a bit more, but turns out you can go too far with pushing the inverts and reds harder on short levels because people are willing to grind them. But not this one as much. Cow had record here with a gold for a little bit.
That was interesting.
But that was Indipop had a really quick run early as well, so that set the tone for the map more than anything else. And then everybody kind of followed suit with man. So let's see. 9.9 is a red key. 9.5 is an invert. So let's see Lotus's run. We'll check out some reds. We got an access boost. Ooh, standing still, just like Camel.
Yo, Goji run, let's go.
Maybe lost a little there. Enough for invert?
Actually,
maybe not.
Yeah. I do wonder how good that would have been if not for the standstill. I feel like he just wasn't expecting to land directly.
Yeah.
If
That's what I thought too. Ozzy's a little bit more ready for that. Different ending though. So lose a little time there. They go back and forth a little. HGT run. So this was 9.5 as I said for invert. And because no one ended up switching to Worth, to even try it out maybe, well, everybody just stuck to Man. And some people got it. I don't think it's reasonable to expect that Worth just straight up saves time. But you guys are gonna be a little impressed when you see Fishy's run, maybe.
Probably. I mean, that goes without saying, but yeah, I don't know.
But
I
Plant
feel
got
like
this
they're-
time. Yeah, Plant got this time of 9.499, just enough for invert, right on the early deadline also.
I feel like there isn't too much of a time advantage here, but it is a short map, so.
Yeah. But we had people barely get their invert. Quite a lot of variety too. A lot of different things to compare. Characteristic of some Delo maps that involve no dying. Some similar strats from teammates. We've seen some V-ceiling replays. Reset ghosts. This was also the level where Arb and I did our tasks. We played Kid.
Yep.
And you tried out Man also, but not Worth, you said?
I did not try Worth, no. Which, not for any particular reason, I just never got around to trying Worth.
Yeah, but you guys did well on the level. I mean, your team got top 3 on it. So, no big need to.
Right.
I'm sure if someone like JVC came by and was just like, surprise, sub 9 Worth, then maybe you'd think about it a little harder. Alright, there's a different opening from Arp.
That light attack is the strat we were cursing in voice chat.
Yes.
Yeah, right at the top.
Right at the start.
And getting the ceiling to line up must be plain.
Yep. It's a very specific rhythm for those inputs. I don't know if it's frame perfect at any point there, but it is very tight.
Yeah, very similar to something I was doing as Kid for a bit.
Mm.
The first thing I did was similar to that. Quantum Coral with the Man record. Loses a tiny bit of time on the ground there, but still good enough. Alright, let's see what Worth does. Here's Camel's run.
Yeah, curious to see if there's any major differences here. Okay, well, that's one major difference.
Yeah. Pretty close at the end.
Yeah, being able to skip that little alcove there is pretty nice.
But Fishy kicks it up. He has a better ending.
Let's see.
Ending is really what gives Worth the edge here.
Mhm.
So not as good speeds for most of it, but the thing is, Worth's ceiling boost speeds beat out Man's.
Large. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he'll still get a better access boost and he'll get up there earlier. So he saves a lot early, and Man doesn't really have that much boosting to save time on. And that's where we end up. So let's check. Do you have a replay for man on this one? I don't see it on your list.
I had a very early version of it. Let me link that 1 second.
There are no challenges here other than ours, so we'll just go straight into the task stuff.
Sure.
I didn't try. I didn't do any other replays of this one, but I do have multiple versions of my kit tasks this time.
Yeah, I don't have anything saved other than the. I do, I guess, but like they're all improvements over.
This time, yeah, this time I remembered to save them all to file, so we can just go through them. But there were a few more iterations this time around. A few different things to do. But man, faster than worth, after all.
Yeah, apparently. No, but I mean, for the kid one, I don't know. I went through a couple iterations. I'm not entirely sure I'm satisfied with what I ended up with, but I couldn't find anything significant like that was any faster. So
Yeah, the RLJ at
Sometimes-
the end, that's a pretty big deal too. So
Mm.
that's something that Aki's actually found pretty quickly, and we were like, I wonder if this will be the strat. That might be a
well, I
little
mean,
concerning.
it is an RLJ off of not a ledge cancel, which has been done in
Yes.
some replays. So
Yeah, so you can waste a few frames trying to do it. So
right.
we talked about it a little, but it turns out that what Fishy did is just, pretty fast anyway.
Better. Yeah.
So we almost had an RLJ in our run, and a book in the level. So let me get. I have. Okay, so for these tasks for me and Arb, I have 4 versions of my tasks and one of Arb's to show. So here's my first draft.
Let's see.
These are just the first things that I ended up doing, which for the most part, I don't think I changed too much from here. Some things stayed that just kind of made sense, but it is actually going to look quite a bit different by the end of it.
Interesting.
So, the first ideas. Version 2. I skipped a few things differently. You can barely keep up with all these kit attacks anyway, so
Yeah.
if you don't even notice the changes, don't worry. They're mostly in the middle, and here. Alright, so I'm down to 8.6. It's pretty good. My third version. Changed a few more things. Changed the ending quite a bit. Didn't do an RLJ. Did something and then an
That's not
RLJ.
light, yeah.
Yeah.
Or not sunlight, but downlight, yes.
Yep. We both have our 0 and 90, 69, 68 replays. I actually only saved a few more frames after this.
All right.
So there's something that I missed. The change in this version from the last one is actually me saving time and doing a down heavy right here, which looks super slow, and there's got to be a better way to do this, but this is the fastest thing that I found here.
Yeah.
So somehow still I just wasn't able to beat that down heavy with the other ideas that I came up with. So let's check out ARBs.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty radically different. I will say.
Okay, so different boost setup. Doing the access boost, I wasn't able to get the boost after it to not be slower. So same speeds on the access boost. Jumping into the ceiling. Got a little extra speed there.
We got one subframe landing into some light attacks.
Yeah, I gotta use all these air charges.
Yep.
This is the main part that Kid has troubles with, but it looks like that's where all the main time save was. And then we did the same ending almost.
Yeah, I ended up I ended up trying to test like non-access boost strats because you know it's Duskid, right? How often are access boosts good for her? But like I never stayed time with any of them. It was like so like basically any variation in that room like started after the access boost for me because
Yep.
not doing it was just far too slow.
Well, in my case, it just took so long to get up there.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, yeah, that's understandable.
I should have. I mean, the main thing is, I dismissed jumping from here when I did, because it just, it costs a lot of time. You're able to keep your speed otherwise, and
Yeah, but I believe
you are able to keep that speed through this entire area somewhat.
Yeah, I actually had a. Do I still have that version? No, I don't think I uploaded it because it was a lot slower. But I had a version of this that attempted to do the slow boost at the start and carry it into ADBs across the entire midsection. But unfortunately, the way you have to set up that boost is extremely slow. So, despite saving all the time through the midsection and onwards, it was slower by quite a lot.
Yeah. So you save a little less than 0.1 at the beginning, and then around 0.2 from the access boost stuff.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised that the ledge cancel was like fast there, but 2 air charges is pretty good. So
yeah, it really hurts Kid to have to do what she has to do to get that top dust.
yeah. I mean, really, even for men and girl. I mean, I imagine it's even worse for girl, but even for men, it's pretty rough having to deal with that.
But Arb with another TAS win for the Worlds. Which does conclude the challenges at least. But we have one more level.
Yep.
Indiana Tacky Jones. And this
Quite a
is
mouthful.
our Kid world record of the week. Of the league, in fact. There's always one. And it was a relatively late decision last night where I was just like, hey, what if we just did Kid on this level, by the way? So I made a little replay of that, and you made one too, it looks like.
Yeah. I'm curious what Fishy does here, because Kid is like legitimately really fast on this map, but hard to do. So,
yeah, the ending especially.
Yeah.
Basically, at some point last night, I was like, hey guys, we could actually just make Kid work on this level, but can you guys help me with an ending? It's just bad.
Yeah, I'm not particularly happy with the ending I had, but the rest of it, I was like, yeah, Kid is stupidly fast here. Like,
I mean, it's just like wipophobia, in my opinion.
yeah, exactly. Except you're not like you're shackled down by having attacks like way further away. So
Yeah, so let's let me check the invert times on this one. This one was 8.1, which a few more people got. And when I say a few more, I mean 9 compared to 8. More people got the red key though. That was 8.6. 9 got each of them compared to Expedition. So let's check out someone that got an 8.6. We got Heavy.
does one count as a few? I suppose that's a question for semantics.
I always think of a few as 3 to 5.
Yeah, at least 2, right? But even 2 is not quite it.
So Heavy with the red key, got it in there. Got a few more people, get some reds. Steel Echo off by 2 frames. We'll watch a quick disappointment.
Unlucky.
Not too much different to do on this map though. I don't expect to see much variety in the runs other than the ending.
Yeah, the ending's like the only part that's distinct, I think.
Yeah, it's especially rough because if you decide to do any heavies, they're gonna spread dust.
Mhm.
And then you got that wall on the bottom right, but it turns out you can hit it from the other side of the wall.
Yep.
So let's check out Nighthawk's run for the invert.
Getting right under the 9.1. So. Or not 9.1, sorry. What am I talking about?
Yeah, 8.1.
8.1.
Tide duck. The difference of 1 point though. Or actually, is it? Let me double check.
That would be
No, that'd be 10th and 11th. These two are 8 and 9.
Yeah, 8 through 10 are all 1 point, right? So
Yeah, Steel Echo, despite not getting the invert, did get a point for getting 10th place.
nice.
Yeah, so not a total disappointment. But very close to invert. JVC saving a frame. We see the down heavy at the end from a couple of these players. HGT coming in for a level grind.
Yeah, he actually got a bunch of runs and inverts for us this week, so
Yeah, you guys needed it.
yeah.
Without HGT, you probably wouldn't have gone perfect on keys again.
Yeah, it's actually a very real possibility. Yeah.
But Plant edging him out by 1 frame. Showing that Plant's the new player in town.
Oh, that ending is so. Oh, that's so slick. Actually, what the hell?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll see if Alex also does it. Yep.
No idea if it's fast, but it definitely looks cool.
Same team, same ending. We got Wazi also with an 8-second run.
Yeah, Wazzy ripping the white team.
I'm doing the same as V ceilings though for the ending, which I suspect is a little bit faster. Gonna reset ghosts because we're all on top of each other.
Yeah, Quantum showing off a cool little ceiling bug that I didn't do in my run.
It's easy to miss the intricacies when they're only a few frames away.
Let's see camels.
Camel saving a little time on execution at the beginning.
Mm.
That's mostly it.
Yeah, that looks about the same.
To be expected. Not unbeatable, but
Yeah, I feel like if I had committed to grinding this a bit more, I could have gotten like a low 7-7 or something. I don't know about this. I don't know about the 7-6, but
that is what Fishy got. Fishy saved 3 more frames than Camel. But then for icing on the cake, Fishy made a little switch and saved 3 more frames. And we see where Kid saves and loses time. Has that big lead at the end.
Yep.
And then has a pretty hard to follow ending.
Her ending is really whack. Like she's so good at the start of the map, and then the ending is just kind of.
Yeah, and it can go faster than this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So first there's a downlight to grab that dust, then there's a jump into the ceiling to bonk, and then 2 more lights. It is very hard to try to line up anything going in between this gap. Kid can't hit the dust and the prism reasonably without going into that gap somehow. Otherwise you'd need 2 heavies or something like that, and that's a lot of time spent.
Mhm.
So really the question was, if we can figure out an ending like this that Fishy figured out, then we can do Kid.
Yeah, if you end up doing it with the 2 heavies, I'm pretty sure like all your start advantage is just completely gone. So
Yeah. This ending was like a couple frames faster than me messing around with some other stuff. I was landing on the pillar and then sliding off it in one.
yeah, I'd actually done that in a couple in the Mantas I had there, I believe does that.
Alright, let me check your replays.
Yeah, I would recommend watching the men one first because Kid is so fast in comparison.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah, so you end up landing on that platform and down dashing just for a little bit after landing. There's like 2 or 3 frames of down dash in there. Just
again.
barely edging out the RTA replays though.
Yeah, they're always close with these short levels. Unless there's something really messed up.
Right.
Here's Kid
And then
though.
in comparison to Kid,
Alright. Looks like you committed to those ADBs.
yep.
I have a run that's actually really close to this that didn't even bother doing some of them because it was more of a demonstration for Fishy and anyone else that wanted to do it. Here's what I did, a little bit more reasonable. No short hop ADBs.
Yeah, ADB's in the air for that one.
Yeah. This is only 3 frames slower. But obviously still requires as good boosts as you can get. So I'm sure there's a little time save between the 2 of us for a sub 7. Those are
Oh, yeah,
not
for
the
sure.
most optimized.
Yeah, for sure.
But we have our Kid level, after all.
It only took a map with a giant sequence of ADBs.
Alright, so I need to run some dangerous code. Give me a moment. And I will update the scores. In the meantime, I'll just verify the challenge stuff. Fill out
Here's-
this form.
Here's to hoping the leaderboards don't blow up.
Alright, I think I have all the challenge winners in there. Just making sure they're all right. A little Maya cameo. So I'm just gonna take a little screenshot of where we were in case it fails. I don't think it'll actually fail, but there's a chance. I had only run this once. You gotta make sure I run the right file. Add challenges. All right, I got to see the numbers update live, one at a time. So if anyone happened to be following along, let me get the leaderboards back on screen. But thanks to a few challenge wins, we have a little bit of a switch. Ike Ether ended up getting a little edge with the challenge wins after all. Thanks
4
to,
points.
Yeah, thanks to every challenge. They
Let's
did.
go.
Yeah. So, although the gap dwindles a little bit, the rate of the rate of the lead expanding is lowering. It's looking pretty solid for Mike Ether. It's gonna take some challenges from V Ceilings directly to Ike Ether and some other teams to make up that gap. But I mean, they gotta win their challenges too. So V Ceilings, if they win their challenges, which that's what Ike Ether's doing every week, then that makes up the difference. You know, we see a lot of points heading towards Ike Ether thanks to challenges. 59 to 27. That's a big chunk. A lot of it's also the top of the leaderboards, but V Ceilings kind of makes up for that with earning keys early, getting a lot of early records. Both teams winning 2 top player challenges as well, for 5 points each. If I look at the top players versus the world, that was not as close this time.
Plaid, you actually did this week. You're point leader for this week, man.
Yeah, let me check that as well, now that we have these in. So Arb's at 48, Game Duck 43, JBC 48. Plant got 54, thanks to winning, I think, all of the challenges, right? All but one? Yeah, I've got 14 points from challenges. Duck got 15 points from challenges. Arb got 5 and 5. So points is just straight up the leaderboard score. So Plant got 23 on that. So Plant with a lot of points this week. Arb's been the point leader for the rest of the league. And we've seen a little adjustments across the board. Some people have off weeks or less active weeks. Argon Avengers in particular this week, it seems, kind of fell off a little. Not as interested in pillars. Not their favorite architectural structure, turns out. But that's okay. You're free to play the maps as much as you like. But I do hope that they can encourage each other to enjoy the final week, because we do only have one more week. And that goes for the rest of the teams too. If you want to try to make up the gap, you actually can, because all players can earn a lot of points from challenges. I'm gonna reiterate this because you might be surprised how many points you can get from challenges. So challenges give you 5 points normally if you win, or you can double down on 2 of them for 10 points if you win, and you can do that for 4 challenges with 2 double downs and get 30 points. So if you went all out on challenges, that's 30 points that you could bring home for your team, which means that if 2 players on Archon Avengers decided to do 4 challenges and go to the max and win all of them, and that's not even counting like a +5 for winning a top player challenge, it earned a lot of points. It's the matter of, it only takes a couple players to max out on challenges and perform well in order to do well. And just to bring even more light to it, you barely get punished for doing challenges. You only lose 1 point. Like, what's this 1 point really gonna matter in the long run? For a double down, you do lose 4 points, but we gotta have a little risk reward, even though we're not just doubling it. we can put a little points at stake for the tension. So that is 100% what I recommend to teams to do, because you might as well like have fun, add the tension that you want to have. You can do it on whatever circumstances you want to do with these levels. If you want to put a lot of points on low direction, you can. I mean, in my opinion, it's just like there's, you know, you could play something that could give you some tension, and, you know, give yourself a challenge, have a little rivalry with someone for a week, go back and forth in Discord like Cow and Duck or Cow and Uckies. People like to see that. Post and trash talk a little bit. That's what DLC is all about. So if you're not participating in that kind of thing, then you're not really getting the most out of DLC. But it's not for everyone. It's fine. It's for the more active players. So I would encourage that people try them out. You know, do some challenges, have some fun. Last DLC, we had a very similar situation, in fact, where there was a team that was leading for the whole DLC, and that was Neon Enthusiasts. And the Custom Custodians were pretty closely trailing them for, you know, the entire DLC. And there were a lot of challenges, especially between those two teams at the end. And during the final day, Custom Custodians clutched it out. But it was not those challenges alone that contributed to Custom Custodians winning. They put a lot of effort into all the other maps. Neon Enthusiasts were a little complacent on top all DLC. You know, we couldn't possibly lose at the end, they think to themselves. But it could happen to Ike Ether. You better watch out.
It could. Very well could.
Can't go soft on challenges, because you can count on V ceilings and other teams doing a lot of challenges. So if you don't get points there, you're gonna lose.
Looking forward to it.
But yeah, that's all the replays. I'm pretty sure that's everything anyway. That's a lot of replays. We had a lot of challenges with wacky stuff. So the more weird challenges you do, the longer the recap will take. There's just a lot to go through. But it's fun. We're just hanging out, enjoying a hard work week. But we resume tomorrow with the final week. Move challenges to the end of recap. Challenges are like 80% of the entire recap, though. So.
I mean, I think it makes sense to do them per map, yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to do all. I don't have to show them all. I'll try to go a little faster next time too, if there are a lot. So, we might only watch like the winner of some challenges. But only one more week. Maps come out tomorrow. I gotta get on some players to upload some maps, like ARB. We'll get to talk about uploading later.
Yes. Look forward to the map that I made, my guys.
Yep. Are there any raid targets in the world? We got one more week.
Plug MSG.
Is MSG streaming?
Yeah. He's
Nice.
streaming Fallout, I think.
Alright, that's a good pick.
SD 1.825.
Alright, go say hi to MSG. DLC would not be possible without MSG. He's responsible for all of the nice things that we have with Dust Mod and all that cool stuff. So if you are unfamiliar, then now you know, I guess. Not to the full extent, but go say hi, pay your respects. go hang out with MSG for a bit. He hasn't been as active in the community lately, but he's a great guy. So if that's not a good enough recommendation, then go find out for yourself.